Let's continue with our self-discovery series, episode 4. The stranger inside you. This is what we are going to look into today. Julius Caesar was Rome's greatest general, loved by his soldiers, admired by his people. Yet, the stranger of ambition whispered louder than loyalty. He crowned himself dictator and was struck down by his own friends. Centuries later, Barony Madoff was trusted as a financial genius, managing billions. But behind the mask, the stranger of greed ran the largest fraud in history, leaving families ruined and himself in prison. You believe you know yourself, but deep within, behind every smile and every mask, there is someone you hardly recognize. This is the stranger inside you. This hidden one shows up in small betrayals. You dream of honesty, yet you lie without thought, and you say, "That was not me." But who was it then? The ancients warned us of this split. The wise said, man is divided within himself. The holy books describe the self that commands evil, the self that blames, and the self that finds peace. Between these states, we wander, confusing our loudest impulses for our truest voice. Even the saints confessed, "What I hate, I do. What I love, I abandon." This is not hypocrisy. It is slavery to the inner stranger. When scientists scanned the human brain, they found it tells stories all the time. Stories about who we are, what we remember, why we act. But the stories are not accurate. The mind is more like a courtroom, defending a criminal than a clear mirror of truth. Mystics called life a well of illusion. What we call me is often nothing but habit, memory, and desire wearing a crown. It smiles with our lips, speaks with our tongue. Yet, when the heart awakens, it admits, "I do not know this face." The truth is harsh. We are not destroyed by enemies outside, but by the stranger living inside us, the one who refuses to face. It tells you you are in control, but long before you decide, the choice has already been made in hidden corners of the mind. This is why lovers hurt the very ones they swear to protect. This is why leaders promise justice but build thrones of pride. History is full of its fingerprints. Empires collapsed not because of outside enemies, but because greed and arrogance rotted them from within. The sacred texts warned in every tongue. One voice called it the soul that deceives, another named it vanity of vanities. Different words, but one meaning. Ambition becomes greed, love becomes possession. And when this happens in one heart, it is tragedy. But when it spreads across millions of hearts, it becomes a society. And yet most of us live our entire lives without ever facing it. Sometimes we call it destiny, bad luck, injustice. But the stranger finally speaks, saying, "No, it was me within you all along." So what do we do with this stranger? Do we kill it? Do we deny it? Or do we dare to face it? This is why prophets, poets, and philosophers all pointed to the same horizon. The end of self is not destruction. In fact, it is completion. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "The greatest jihad is not against the sword, but against the self." The ancient Egyptians believed that when you died, your heart was weighed against a feather, not for sins against others, but for the truth of your own soul. Shakespeare wrote in Hamlet, "Give me that man that is not patience slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core. Even the bard knew the true enemy lives within. In Hindu philosophy, the Bhagavad Gita warns the mind is both the friend and enemy of the self. And the Holy Quran, in Surah 75, verse 2, swears by the self-reproaching soul, the voice that exposes the stranger inside us. So, the greatest throne to conquer is not Rome, not Wall Street, not an empire of nations, but the secret empire inside your own chest. So let's end it with this question. Have you ever met your stranger on the way? If this message found resonance with you, join me on this journey by subscribing.